You guys probably know by now that I think red flag laws are one of the worst possible things to come out of elected officials in decades. They're often completely unconstitutional in origin and execution both. That being said, a ruling from the Supreme Court could potentially uproot some of that nonsense. We're going to wade through it after this.
Vertex makes some of the best EDC bags and gear around. Whether you're looking for a backpack, a messenger bag, or maybe something for your pup. They've got features like a rapid access weapon compartment, padded backing, a hot pull tab for quick access to the main compartment, and much, much more. Oh, and did I mention their jeans make my legs look better? Seriously, I can do so many high kicks in these. And guys, if you want to get a huge discount, head over to Vertex, that's VERTX.com, and use our code TGC to get a whopping 25% off everything. Go do it.
Welcome back to the Gun Collective. My name is Jon Patton, and you are watching The Fight for Gun Rights. This is a show all about Second Amendment news, and we would love it if you would get subscribed, follow us on Instagram, or just left a like on the video. That would be awesome. Now, the topic for today is a pretty exciting one, if you ask me. It isn't very often that we seem to get a big win from the Supreme Court, a landslide decision, especially when it comes to constitutionality issues. Well, we got just that regarding the Fourth Amendment. All 9 justices agreed on this one. It's like unprecedented when it comes to political type stuff anymore. To refresh your memory, the Fourth Amendment covers unreasonable search and seizure of your property. The case at hand is known as Caniglia versus Strom. Edward Caniglia being the victim in this case, and he sued a bunch of cops from the city of Cranston, Rhode Island. Now, to keep things simple, we will go through the syllabus provided with the decision from the court, because quite honestly, it's almost exactly how I would break it down myself. So let's do that. For context, this originally took place back in August of 2015. Okay, here we go. During an argument with his wife, petitioner Edward Caniglia placed a handgun on the dining room table and asked his wife to quote-unquote shoot him and get it over with. His wife instead left the home and spent the night at a hotel. The next morning, she was unable to reach her husband by phone, so she called the police to request a welfare check. The responding officers accompanied Caniglia's wife to the home where they encountered Caniglia on the porch. The officers called an ambulance based on the belief that Caniglia posed a risk to himself and others. Caniglia agreed to go to the hospital for psychiatric evaluation on the condition that the officers not confiscate his firearms. But once Caniglia left, the officers located and seized his weapons. Caniglia sued, claiming that the officers had entered his home and seized his firearms without a warrant in violation of the Fourth Amendment. The district court granted summary judgment to the officers. The First Circuit affirmed, extrapolating from the court's decision in the 1973 case called Cady versus Dombrowski, a theory that the officer's removal of Caniglia and his firearms from his home was justified by a quote-unquote community caretaking exception to the warrant requirement. I'll tell you what, the thing that stands out the most to me here is the fact that the cops lied to the dude's face just to get him to go to the hospital and went to steal his guns after he agreed to get help. Further reinforcing 2 things: why a lot of people don't trust cops and why a lot of folks that own guns don't want to go get mental help. What a big mistake that was on their part. Not only that, but this is basically a red flag case. They use the wording that is so often used in red flag laws, a risk to himself or others. And that was followed immediately by the seizure of his private property. Wow. Okay, so now that I got your blood pressure up a little bit, let's ease that back down with the decision from the court. In the syllabus, it says, neither the holding nor logic of Cady justifies the warrantless searches and seizures in the home. Cady held that a warrantless search of an impounded vehicle for an unsecured firearm did not violate the Fourth Amendment. In reaching this conclusion, the court noted that the officers who patrol the public highways are often called to discharge non-criminal community caretaking functions, such as responding to disabled vehicles or investigating accidents. But searches of vehicles and homes are constitutionally different, as the Cady opinion repeatedly stressed. The very core of the Fourth Amendment's guarantee is the right of a person to retreat into his or her home and there be free from unreasonable governmental intrusion. Florida v. Jardines. I guess that's how it's pronounced. A recognition of the existence of community caretaking tasks, like rendering aid to motorists in disabled vehicles, is not an open-ended license to perform them anywhere. Oh! If that's not a kick in the junk to those officers, I don't know what is. Now, without knowing the exact language of every single red flag law out there, it's very difficult to say how this will exactly affect them. It's also difficult because they would likely need to be challenged in court in order for any real change to affect the laws. However, this is a big win for constitutionalists. It also could set precedent. I also like to think that this is yet another reason to point out one of the best pro-freedom groups for people experiencing a hard time mentally. Hold My Guns is something that you guys really need to learn about. I think it's time we here at TGC made a video covering that organization as a whole, just to share that message so more people know about it. Anyway, I am looking for your opinion on this one, guys. Do you think it will affect red flag laws? If not, why not? Let's get some discussion going down in the comment section below. Also, if you really wouldn't mind, that would be awesome if you hit the like button so the algorithm doesn't bury this news. And don't forget to get subscribed, ring the bell on YouTube, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And as always, thank you all for watching. We'll see you soon.